Hello champions, welcome to the next lecture on the partial differential equation. Today I will explain you how you can formulate the partial differential equations by eliminating the arbitrary functions. Myself Dr. Harish Garg, you can follow and subscribe my YouTube channel. What we have discussed so far, we have defined the concept of the partial differential equations and its solution. Now, the today's lecture is how we can formulate the partial differential equations when the solution is given to you. Fine. Make sure students, the solution, capital F is my solution of the partial differential equation, and that is given to you. And your target is to formulate the partial differential equation, and that partial differential equation, it may be the linear or non-linear. Fine. It may be of the first order, it may be of the first order or second order or higher order, that depending from the problem to problem. We have classified the formulation into the two category. The first one is by eliminating the arbitrary constants. Like in the left hand side of your screen, you can see A, B are the two arbitrary constants. How you can formulate the partial differential equations by eliminating the arbitrary constants. और वो lecture we have already discussed in our previous lectures. Formulation of the partial differential equations with arbitrary constant. More than 15 plus examples available in this playlist. Now, in this lecture, I will explain you the part 2, that is a type 2, how we can formulate the partial differential by eliminating the arbitrary functions like f, phi, psi and so on are the arbitrary functions. Now, first of all, I can consider the u and v are my two functions. So, I will firstly derive what is the derivation of the formulation of the partial differential equations, and then I will explain you with the help of the 15 plus examples which are very helpful, not from the theory point of view but also the CSR net and gate examination as well. Fine. Today's lecture is also useful for your university examinations. So now consider the two functions which are defined as a u and v of the x, y and z such that f of u comma v is my 0. Clear? Now can you differentiate the equation number 1 with respect to x and y? How you can differentiate 1 with respect to x and y? So firstly we can differentiate with respect to x. Your target is to differentiate f with respect to x. How you can differentiate that? By using the chain rule. Fine. So now you can see f is dependent on u, f is dependent on the v. Also you can see u and v are dependent on the x, y and z. So u is dependent on the x, u is dependent on the y, u is dependent on the z. Similarly for the v, dependent on the x, y and z. Fine. And then you have to find the derivative of the each variables with respect to x. ये तो chain rule होता है ना. And make sure students your x and y are my independent variables while z is my dependent variables. Now you can find this value del f by del v u, del f by del v. U with respect to x, u with respect to x, u with respect to y, u with respect to z. X with respect to x, if you find the derivative of x with respect to x is a 1, y and x are my independent, so the derivative is my 0, z with respect to x. Similarly, v with respect to x, v with respect to y and v with respect to z. X with respect to x1, y and x are independent, del z by del x. So your required expression of the del f by del x. अब आप इस टेबल में देखो f से लेके x में पहुंचने के कितने तरीके हैं आपके पास. How many ways you have? One is you can go from f to u and then u to x, x to x, or f to u, u to y and y to x and so on. So first expression will be f to u. Fine. Plus second expression you can go from f to v. These are the two ways. Fine. Now your target is to write the values. So once f to u, u से x में कैसे पहुंचोगे? Either u to x, fine, and then x to x. So that will be u with respect to x, x to u to x, and x to x, plus second way is u to y and then y to x. And since y to x is my 0, so del u by del y into 0 is my 0. Similarly, for the third one, u with respect to z and z with respect to x. Similarly, on the right hand side, v with respect to x and then x to x is 1. Second expression will be 0 and then v with respect to z and z with respect to x. And that's the required expression of the del f by del x. But clearly say from the equation number 1, if you differentiate both sides with respect to x, what is the derivative of the 0? Is my 0. So that means the left hand side is my 0. So I can write the expression is this way. Similarly, you can differentiate f with respect to y. F is my u, dependent on the u and v. Again, it are dependent on the x, y and z. Or otherwise, you can simply replace x to be y. यहाँ कहीं पे भी x लिखा हुआ है, उसको आप x से यहाँ पे y को replace कर दीजिए. And we all know what is the notation we have discussed. P is my del z by del x and Q is my del z by del y. I can substitute the value of the Q in these two expressions and the value of the P in these two expressions. Now your target is to eliminate del f by del u and del f by del v. So for that, we will take the determinant to be 0. You can open these determinants, that means you can expand that, and after expanding you can open the bracket del f by del x into del v by del y plus q into del u by del x into del v by del z plus and so on. Fine. Now you can open the bracket and take the pair coefficient of the small p, coefficient of the small q, and the term which are independent of the p and q. I denoted the first expression as a capital P, second expression as a capital Q, third expression as a capital R. So that is the required partial differential equation. Fine. Or you can also write the first expression is del f del u by del y, del z by del z. Similarly, v with respect to y and v with respect to z. तो इसको क्या बोलते हैं आप? That is nothing but my Jacobian. Fine. So that is a Jacobian of the u and v with respect to y and z. Similarly for the q and similarly for the r. अब क्वेश्चन ये है कि आप इसको रिमेंबर कैसे करोगे? Remember, what is the coefficient of the capital P? Small p, and small p we have always defined with respect to x. तो आपको Jacobian निकालना है u and v apart from the x. तो x को छोड़ दो, बाकी क्या रह गया? y and z. Similarly, small q क्या था आपके पास? Partial derivative of the z with respect to y. So q is again the Jacobians, लेकिन y को छोड़ दो, that is the z and x. Similarly for the r. मैं इसको आपको एग्जांपल के साथ समझाता हूं. I will tell you two different method. Fine. First method मैं आपको नॉर्मल प्रोसीजर से सॉल्व करता हूं. You can differentiate the equation number 1. This is my equation number 1 with respect to x and with respect to y. लेफ्ट हैंड साइड क्या हो जाएगी आपकी? डेल एफ बाय डेल एक्स. इसको क्या नाम देते हैं? p का. अगर आप y के साथ करोगे तो दैट इज द राइट लेफ्ट हैंड साइड इज माई q. करो कितना आ गया डेरिवेटिव विद रिस्पेक्ट टू x? 0 प्लस ट्वाइस f डैश 1 ओवर x प्लस log ऑफ y इंटू 1 ओवर x का डेरिवेटिव माइनस 1 ओवर x स्क्वायर. सिमिलरली आप q के साथ कर लीजिए, यू विल गेट दीज टू एक्सप्रेशंस. इसके अंदर कितने आर्बिट्री फंक्शंस हैं? देयर इज ओनली वन आर्बिट्री फंक्शन f डैश. तो आपका टारगेट क्या है? एक ऐसी इक्वेशन बनानी विच आर फ्री फ्रॉम दी f डैश. तो कैसे निकाल सकते हो आप? तो देखो इक्वेशन नंबर 1 में से क्या आप वैल्यू निकाल सकते हो f प्राइम की? कितनी वैल्यू आ गई इसकी? विच इज इक्वल टू माइनस पी एक्स स्क्वायर बाई 2. आई कैन सब्सटीट्यूट इन द इक्वेशन नंबर 2. यहां पे फिल कर दो वैल्यू, आपके पास एक्सप्रेशन बन गई ये एक्सप्रेशन. क्या इसके अंदर अभी कोई f प्राइम कुछ ऐसा लिखा हुआ है? नो, दैट इक्वेशन इज माई फ्री फ्रॉम द f. सो देयरफॉर दिस इज द रिक्वायर्ड पार्शियल डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशन. क्लियर? और ज्यादा से ज्यादा क्या कर सकते हो आप? इसको सिंप्लीफाई कर लीजिए, यू विल गेट द रिक्वायर्ड पार्शियल डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशन. ये तो हो गया आपका फर्स्ट मेथड बाय यूजिंग दी डेरिवेशन। अब अगर आप कहो कि सर मैंने जो आपने प्रीवियस में बताया यू एंड वी उस वाले कंसेप्ट से बताइए, दैट इज माय सेकंड मेथड। फाइन, तो उसके लिए क्या करना है, सबसे पहले इसमें से एफ की वैल्यू निकालो आप। एफ की वैल्यू कितनी आ गई, मैं यहाँ पे निकाल दे रहा हूं आपको। एफ इज 1/x प्लस लॉग ऑफ वाई, कितना आ जाएगा इसमें से, वाई के उधर जाके लेफ्ट में माइनस हो गया, डिवाइडेड बाय 2। फाइन, नाउ आउट ऑफ दीज टू एक्सप्रेशंस, वन साइड किसी एक को आप u का नाम ले लो, टेक एनी वन ऑफ देम एज ए u, सेकंड इज माय v। You may choose the first right hand side is my u and this one is a v, choice आपकी है। Now your required expression is small p plus capital Q plus small q is my fine। तो आपका टारगेट क्या है, p की वैल्यू निकालनी। p क्या था, जेकोबियन ऑफ द u एंड v विद रिस्पेक्ट टू y एंड z। तो निकालो, पहले क्या है u को y के साथ डेरिवेटिव करो, इट इज अ 1/y। u को z के साथ डेरिवेटिव करो 0। v को, दिस राइट हैंड साइड इज v, इसको y के साथ डेरिवेटिव करो, इट्स माइनस ऑफ y, एंड z के साथ करो इट्स हाफ। तो कितना आंसर हो गया, 1/2y। सिमिलरली यू कैन फाइंड द q इज माय जेकोबियन ऑफ द u एंड v विद रिस्पेक्ट टू, फाइंड y z लाइन में चलेगा आपके पास। नाउ यू कैन फाइंड द डेरिवेटिव u विद रिस्पेक्ट टू z 0, u with respect to x minus 1/x square, v with respect to z half, v with respect to y is a minus half, so if you expand them it's a 1/2x square। Similarly you can find the value of the r, Jacobian of the u and v with respect to x and y, लाइन में चलेगा बच्चों, y z, z x and x y। Find the Jacobian of the u with respect to x, minus 1/x square, u with respect to y 1/y, v with respect to x 0, v with respect to y is minus y, and your expression is y/x square। Now substitute all these values of the p, q and r in the required expressions, so you will get 1/2y into small p plus q/2x square, which is equal to y/x square। Take the LCM on the left hand side, that will be 2y(x square) is the LCM, so that expression is x square into p plus q into y, which is equal to y/x square। If you take the LCM, so it's a x square into p plus q into y, which is equal to 2y square, is the required partial differential equations, and you will be very surprising that both the answers are always same। Fine, so this kind of the expression I recommended for the CSR net। फाइन, ये एग्जांपल तो काफी सिंपल था ना, इसलिए आप कर पाए, लेकिन अगर कंपटीशन एग्जामिनेशन में हो देन ट्राई टू अडॉप्ट दिस मेथड। लुक एट द नेक्स्ट वन, हाउ मेनी आर्बिट्ररी फंक्शंस यू हैव, ओनली वन f, सो योर टारगेट इज टू, पहले आप अगर u से लिखना चाहते हो तो पहले आप इसमें से f की वैल्यू निकाल लो, ax minus by which is equal to z/e⁻ax plus by। Fine, consider this expression is my u, fine is v, calculate the capital P, capital Q and capital R, then substitute in the expression। Fine, second is you can differentiate with respect to x and y, तो x के साथ करोगे तो कितना हो गया, फाइन, इस प्रोडक्ट रूल, a e⁻ax plus by f of ax minus by plus second term e⁻ax plus f prime ax minus by into a। Similarly you can find that del z by del y with respect to y, you can do that। This expression is my p, expression is my q। अब आपका टारगेट है इसमें से f एंड f प्राइम को इलिमिनेट करना। फाइन, दिस इज माय टारगेट। तो आप देखो इसकी वैल्यू कितनी आ गई, दैट एक्सप्रेशन इज माय z, दिस एक्सप्रेशन इज आल्सो माय z। फाइन, अब इक्वेशन नंबर 1 एंड 2 में आपके पास क्या रह गया, ओनली योर टारगेट इज टू एलिमिनेट द f प्राइम। क्लियर, तो मैं फर्स्ट इक्वेशन को ये लिख सकता हूं, f माइनस az इज इक्वल टू a e raised to power ax plus by f prime of ax minus by. Similarly, I can write from the second one, q minus bz is minus of b ax plus by f prime ax minus by. So can you eliminate f prime from the both equations? If you divide them, so clearly say expression will be cancelled out. So from the 1 and 2, if you divide and clearly say the required expression is my free from the f and the f prime. So therefore is the required partial differential equations. और आप थोड़ा सा सिंप्लीफाई करें, you will get the required partial differential equations. Fine. और अगर आप इसमें सेकंड मेथड से करो, कैपिटल P, कैपिटल Q and कैपिटल R निकालोगे, you will again get the same required partial differential equation. Is it okay? So we will see the more than 15 plus example of the same type 2 PD, how you can formulate in our next lecture. If you are really interested, let me know in the comment box. I will upload very soon for all of you. Till then, you can share this video with your friends, like and comment on the videos. Happy learning, students. Best wishes.